Strings are objects that represent and hold sequences of characters. For example, you could have a universal greeting in your code, welcome, and assign that as a string to be called up wherever you like in the program. There are different ways in which you can create a string of characters, which historically are all carried over from the original C language and are still supported by C++. To create a string, you use the char function. Open a new C++ file and begin with the usual header. It's easy to confuse a string with an array. Here's an array which can be terminated with a null character. Build and run the code and welcome appears on the screen. While this is perfectly fine, it's not a string. A string is a class which defines objects that can be represented as a stream of characters and does not need to be terminated like an array. The code can therefore be represented as. In C++, there is also a string function which works in much the same way. Using the greeting code again, you can enter this code. There are also many different operations that you can apply with the string function. For instance, to get the length of a string, you can use this code. You can see that we used great size to output the length, the number of characters there are of the contents of the string. Naturally, if you call your string something other than greet, then you need to change the command to reflect this. It's always string name.operation. Build and run the code to see the results. Just as you might expect, you can mix in an integer and store something to do with the string. In this example, we create int length, which stores the result of string.size and outputs it to the user. Operations that come with the string function, you can manipulate the contents of a string. For example, to remove characters from a string, you could use this. It's worth spending some time playing around with the numbers, which are the character positions in the string. Occasionally, it can be hit and miss whether you get it right, so practice makes perfect. Take a look at the screenshot to see the result of the code.